Hey folks, here's a lesson on Mother Nature's Son by the Beatles. This one almost seems like it was perfectly written for this instrument. It's like all of the riffs and all the chords and everything all fit on the baritone. Let's start out with the intro. Okay, so that was 4. This is part of a B minor chord here. So you do the 4 and the 3rd string, and then you do the 3 and the 2 on the bottom 2 strings at the same time. So it's a finger picking thing too. So we got, and then to the 2, this is like a D chord. You're doing the 2 on the 3rd string to those same 2 bottom notes. And then just the 1st fret on that 3rd string. And then you go up here to this E note, 2nd fret of the 4th string. So one more time we got. And then there's a little jump, ba-bum, bum. And then you're going to come in with this D chord that has a on top here. So this is a pinky coming down. So it's 2, 3, 5 down here. And you can do the big D string. So we're going to have 4 of those. Then you're going to come down here to this D sus 4. And I'm just doing it that way because I'm coming out of that other finger. A lot of times you would do that one like with the pinky down here. So you can go back and forth to that D. So you're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we're doing a D sus 2, which is where I have this 2 taken out of here. So it's open on the bottom. And that's going to go. So that's open, O, 2, 3 on the bottom, with the whole rest of the chords staying the same. Now that last one was a little pull off. Pinky pulling off to that 2nd fret of the small string. So. So that next part after that is pretty easy, just like hammering onto the 2, and 3 more strums, and then hammer again to that 3. So let's go over all that so far. You got. And then open, O, 2, 3, 3, 2, O, 2, 2, 3. Last part of this is a little bit more difficult. So it's open to the 2, and then you wait a second, and you get a up down, and then another couple 2s before you go to the open and back. So let's look at all of what we got so far. I'm just gonna go from the 2, 3, 5 here. O to 2, 2 to 3. So once again, that last part. So what's happening there is you're like a 1E, and then the So 1E and is your 16th notes. 1E, a 2. So you're not playing the 3rd of those 4 16th notes. So it's like 1, 2, 4, 1. If you're looking at the different 16th notes. Okay, so a full intro one more time. Okay, now we're ready for the verse. Okay, so that's just 4 in the D, and then up to this G shape, which is 4 on the 3rd string and 3 and 3 down here. So like a full G, like an F would be that, but we keep the D bass. So it's a G slash D. If you ever wonder what the slash thing means on chords, the second one is that there's a different bass note than there would normally be. That's all that means. Chord first, bass note second. So we got, and then the G repeats, back to the D. And then we just do those same chords from the beginning. We just strum them this time instead of doing them one thing at a time. Now later there's going to be a bass note come in, a bass riff come in for that thing right there off that 2. Just that 2 in the bass. So keep that 3rd string muted right there. Now we have a new thing where we're going to do this A chord where we get all these 2s, but we're going to have a 5 down here, which is another A. So that's a, if you haven't seen that one, that's a good A inversion to give you a really high note there, but still have that low end stuff. So okay, so that is 4, 2, 3, and we hold the 5 there the whole time. So it's A to a D/A. And this one actually would have a, since it doesn't have the real A bass that a guitar would have, this is the F sharp. So really the F sharp would be like the bass note of this one. So it'd be like an A/E, because E is our lowest note, to a D/F sharp. So. Then we go to D. That's just a little 3 to 2 there. Dum da da dee dum. Now we're doing a D minor 7, and that's 2 on the 3rd string and 1 and 1. So we went bum bum ba bum, and then we're gonna slide that 3 to 5, and do the same type of thing, but we go 5 to 3 here. So it's. Okay, so that's like the whole first part of the song. So do the whole thing again. See, I'm getting that little bum ba da dum dee dum, bum ba da dum da dum dum da 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 dee dum. And that last one has a little extra strum in there. Dum 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 da dum. One more time on that. Now he kind of does this. He does a little playful strumming a little bit further into it, but sometimes he plays it kind of straight. So it could be like without an extra upbeat. The extra upbeat would be like, you hear him do that like on the 3rd one, but the first 2 he keeps kind of straight. Maybe just keep it a little more simple. So the 3rd and 4th chords of that sequence of 4 chords, he kind of spices up with a little bit more strumming. The first one's a little simpler. The first 2. Next verse, D to G with the D bass, G back to D. Now we're gonna have those first chords from the intro. We're gonna add a little bass line this time. So that's 2 on the big string, and then you're gonna take that ring finger. Real important to use the ring finger here because we're moving into a new position. This is a thing that happens in major pentatonic, kind of happier blues type scales all the time. And it's a great riff to know about when you just want to do something special to make a major chord sound a little better without just playing the same chord over and over again. So that's 2, and then 4 to 6, like a quick slide, boom, boom. Then 4 on the G string, and 5 on the B string. Now that takes us right into that thing where we went from the A chord to the D/F sharp there. And then he gets into the do 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 do. So what I'm doing there is playing the chord, but his melody is like. So what I'm doing is going. You could just kind of pick it to that note on the 2nd string. And then that 7 on the 3rd string is like the 2nd note of his little melody. So you can try to play a chord sequence, but still try to incorporate the melody into that chord sequence. So, so I kind of went to a 5 there on the 2nd string with that chord, moving the pinky out of the way, and then back to the pinky. And then it switches to this G/D chord, which is like a D shape, but on the 7th fret. Go again. And then we're going to come back to this 7-7-5 chord, which is the D shape itself. It's the higher end version of your regular D down here. Same notes. D, F sharp, A. Down here we had D, F sharp, and A. So when we get to that one, after this little sequence, we're going to go. So once again, that was the 7 and 7 and 5. And we're going to the small string. We do a little pull off with the 7-5. Then we switch to this minor shape. This is like a D minor shape if you look at it down here. So it could also be like it's like a D major 7 there. I guess in this context it would be more like a D major 7. So first we got the 7, 7, 5, 6, 7, and 5. Now we have 5, 7, and 5, so that went down chromatic. And then we're going to have, and that was 5, 7, 7, 2 7s on the bottom, 2 strums, back to the 5, 7, 5. And then we're going to go to a G, the 5, 3, and then a G minor, the 5, 3, back to the D. So that whole thing, we go from this little thing before it. So then we come to the last verse. Original chords from the intro. We're going to go back to that bass riff. The A, D type thing. D minor 7, G. And then sometimes in the song it'll only do that once and it'll go into the do. So listen to it for that. Okay, there's one little thing to add here before we get to the last verse. Now that was the last real verse. The very last one is an instrumental, so there's no singing, there's no words to it. That's why I said the other one was the last verse. So before the very last verse where there is no lyrics, we have this riff. So he just there's a little drum thing that pops in there right before that last, like I say, instrumental verse. And he just hammers onto that sus right there. So it's like, and then he starts the next verse, like I say, without any lyrics. He's just singing a melody, you know. That's the G back to the D. Then our original chords. And then the D, D minor 7, G. Times. Little slight retard there at the end. Cool. All right. I hope you like that. Mother Nature's Son. Great song. Paul McCartney. The White Album. Check it out if you haven't heard it for a while. Fantastic stuff, of course, on there. And we will see you next time. Please like and subscribe. Thanks a lot. I'm Damon Wood. Let me know if you have any requests for the next lesson. Appreciate it.